Hey again, friends. Welcome back to my channel. To those who are new, I am Yolanda, the face of Yolanda's books, and today I just wanted to talk to you guys or show you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books I think I have here that I am recommending to you guys just in case if you are in a reading slump or about to go in a reading slump. I don't know what a reading slump is to a lot of you guys. Like, how do you know you're going into a reading slump? How do you know you're in a reading slump? But as far as for me, I can't say that I actually been in a reading slump, but I have caught myself having days like I don't have time to read. I just don't want to pick up a book. But I try my best to know my fast-paced books that I can actually read, that will get me there, get me reading, and then I always try to have some graphic novels on deck. So guys, tell me what your reading slump is. How do you know that you're in a reading slump? But also, I had a couple of books that I had to DNF. But I think I'm going to give another shot. But the way I knew that I was going to DNF those books was because it didn't matter if I had the audio to go to it or not. If I start reading that book and my mind just gravitates to my cell phone or something that's on TV, or I'm thinking of other things that I can actually be doing at that time. I feel like that is kind of like a reading slump for me for that book. But like I said, I have not even been in a reading slump as of yet because I'm constantly always reading books. If you go to my Goodreads at Yolanda, Reading with Yolanda's Books, you'll see for the year of 2024, I have already read 142 books. So I can't say I've been in a reading slump. And I'm glad that I have not been in a reading slump because I have too many books that I want to read, and I just love to read. So anyway, so today I just want to give you guys some of my book recommendations that I feel will help you if you feel like you have stumbled upon a book that just is not meeting your expectations. It's not fast enough. It doesn't have enough going into it. That I feel will you'll be wanting to know what is the next chapter going to be like. And also, guys, that too is another reason why me, Yolanda's Books, don't like to read fantasy books, because I feel like it'll just go on and on and on with the same characters, the same plot, and going nowhere. And that's just how I feel about a lot of the fantasy books, especially with them being so thick, because I'm just not understanding what can be so, I don't know, about 600 and something pages, 700 and something pages. I just feel like that's just too much. And then I guess also, guys, I'm saying that because I just don't enjoy fantasy books as much as I enjoy the other books. So that's just my thought. So, maybe it's not like that for you. Maybe, you're that fantasy girl or guy and it just does it for you. But it's just not for me. But Fourth Wing and all of that, I really did enjoy those books. So let's just jump right into this video and let me give you guys my recommendations just in case if you get in a book slump. Alright guys, so let's just jump right into this video. So these are all the books that I recommend that you guys read if you're in a reading slump. If you're not subscribed to my channel, we are on here every Wednesday and Sunday. So if you subscribe to my channel, just click that subscription button and that notification bell. It will let you know when Yolanda's Books is on YouTube. And like I said, every Wednesday and Sunday, I try my best to put up a vlog of some type. So just make sure you subscribe so you won't be missing out on some great book recommendations and just stuff all about books. So I'm not going to hold you guys long. So let's just get right into it. The first book, and these are in no particular order, y'all. I just pulled some off my shelf that really was very fast paced, exciting, like had all the things in it that really kept me out of a reading slump or that I just really enjoyed. So most of these, well, all of these books I have actually already read. So we're going to start with The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. Y'all, this was the first book that I ever read by this author, and I could not put this book down. I gave this book a 5-star. I read this book in one sitting. Like, from the very first chapter of this book, it just sent me off into a world of like, oh my God, like what is going on? Like, who is he cheating with? Like, just all the things. And this book is just pretty much about a lawyer named Sarah. She was a successful, powerful defense lawyer. She was 33 years old. She was a young girl. And she was married to somebody named Adam, and he was actually a writer. And I think his writing career was kind of like struggling. And then he was also like upset that his powerful defense attorney wife like worked so much. Like, I guess he felt like she didn't have that much time for him. So they, of course, they had like a secluded home in the woods, like something that you can go to just to unwind. And at that home, which was their second home, Adam engaged in an affair with somebody named Kelly Summers. And so then it says, Sarah soon finds out herself playing the defense for her own husband, a man accused of murdering his mistress. But is Adam guilty or is he not? So when I read the back of this book, like that sent me into like, I gotta read this book. And as I was reading this book, y'all, each chapter just left me hanging. And I'm like, well, dang, like who did it? Like, I thought Adam did it, or, I thought the ex-husband did it. And like, it just kept me going to the next chapter. So it's a very fast-paced book, and it will keep you going and hanging on to every chapter until you get to the very end, and you'll be like, I never would have thought. And I like books like that, so I feel like The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose will get you there. Very nice love story by Kennedy Ryan, Before I Let Go. Y'all, the romance, the second chance at love, the success, and just the writing of this book was outstanding. This book was pretty much just about a lady named Yasmin and a guy named Josiah. They actually were married at one point, and they were very successful in their marriage. But one day, she actually, I think, and I want to say it's all on the back of this book, like, something happened with Yasmin in her last pregnancy, and it caused her to like lose a kid, and like she went into this type of, depression. I don't know if Josiah actually understood what she was going through or not, but they actually did get a divorce. So, but they already had children, so they had to co-parent, and then they also had like a business that was thriving together. So they constantly had contact with each other. So you could tell in this book that like Yasmin and Josiah like was still really feeling each other even though they were divorced, because Josiah did not like when Yasmin got somebody else, and the vice versa with Yasmin and Josiah. And I also feel like the kids kind of like stole the show with this book also, because they was one of the parts of why Josiah and Yasmin still had connections to each other, and I think feelings for each other. But y'all, the spice in this book was off the rip. The writing, the love story, the characters, like everything was so great in this book, and it just kept you wondering, like, is Josiah and Yasmin gonna get back together? Like, is Josiah and Yasmin actually gonna like have sex again because of like the way they're acting, the way they're treating each other? And so that is what kept me going with this book. Tia Williams said, emotional, raw, real, and addictive, delicious. Like, that is so true. Like, this book is so addictive because you want to see them happy. You don't want to see them with somebody else. Y'all, this book is just a fast-paced, great second chance at love romance book. So, Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. And I cannot say enough about this next book, y'all. I read this book also in one sitting, and it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. This book, y'all, this book had me turned around in so many different directions, wondering who did what, why they did this. Mad with the character in this book who was the mom, was like, oh my God. Colleen Hoover really did a number when she did this book, Verity. I also read this book in one setting. I was just so invested in if this woman actually did what they were saying that she did in this book. And then even at the very end, y'all, I was still confused. I was still wondering, like, you know, it kind of, I don't know about anybody else, but this book kind of like left me on a cliffhanger. And I'm pretty sure that there's not going to be another Verity book, but it just kind of left me on a cliffhanger, still wondering, like, did she do these things? Did her husband actually have something to do with what was going on with her? And, like, was she really that kind of a mom? You know, now right here it says, no matter which way I look at it, it's clear that Verity was a master at manipulating the truth. The only question is remaining, which truth was she manipulating? Like, then it says the end, y'all. So, come on. Like, that left me on a cliffhanger. So, I'm wondering, like, is there going to be a second something to Verity? Like, it has to be. Like, she just left us hanging. And that's what I'm saying. Like, did she do these things? Did she not? Like, was she? Oh, my God, y'all. It just left me, like, wondering why. And it also left me wanting to read another one of her books. Now, Colleen Hoover, I really do enjoy her books. The next one is another Geneva Rose book. It is Home is Where the Bodies Are. This right here was a really fast-paced book for me. And it really started off good, but it really got me when the mom died. And then, what was her name? She started, Beth. Is it Beth? The oldest never. Yeah, I think her name was Beth. When she started finding things, like her mom was telling her little things before she actually died. And then she started finding things after her mom died. Like, that was like pointing to like the parents, pointing to the brother, you know, but pointing to her mom and her dad. And then, like, it really started getting juicy once Beth actually like told Nicole and, was it Michael? Yes, about like the things that they were finding. And then, like, when the lawyer came in and like gave them letters and this, that, and the other, and it was like, well, God dang it, like, who did it? Did the mom and the dad do it? Like, did her parents do it? And then, like, it was like suspicious of the brother. And then in the very end of the book, when you actually found out who did it, I would not have ever thought that this person did it until, like, you know, in the part of the book when Beth actually, like, either read a letter or like somebody was telling her like how this person was. I think it was a letter or something. One of the letters about how this person was and like the things that they did during the time that they were a child and like what happened to their fiance. So I was like, but no, I don't really think so. I think that whoever did it is already passed away. Or are they? Y'all, very fast paced. I read this book, I think, in about 2 days. And it wasn't because it wasn't fast paced enough. It was because, like, I was actually reading other books as well. Jennifer Hartman, Still Beating. I had this book on my shelf for quite some time. A coworker of mine told me about this book, and when I picked up this book, I could not put it down. Now, it started out like, for me, it started out like, man, what is this going to be? Just like another book of like somebody cheating on their fiance? Hell no. Hell no. That was not what this book was pretty much all about. Once they actually got stopped by the fake cop, once the attic scene came in and all the things that happened in that attic scene, y'all, I was like, whew, it was like it just blew me away. But in the very, very beginning of this book, when I started reading this book, I kind of felt like, and y'all tell me if y'all read this book, I kind of felt like the sister and the fiance like was kind of like feeling each other in some type of way, like for real, because of just the way they act, the things that they said. Like he was so attentive to like do things for her and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, they having an affair, like, but in the beginning of the book, like she just really hated his guts. But when y'all, this book right here really sold, I think, because of that attic scene. Not because of what happened after that and all of that kind of stuff, but that attic scene, the basement, was it the basement? I'm talking about the attic. That basement was off the rip. Like spicy, not smutty. It was just good. It was really good. So that was the first time I ever read a book by Jennifer Hartman, and I really did enjoy it. Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. Guys, these last two books that I would recommend you guys read if y'all are in a reading slump or feel like you get in a reading slump. One of them is a graphic novel, and I feel like graphic novels and mangas are the best books to read if you feel like you're in a reading slump. And that is the reason why I feel like that, because I feel like graphic novels will, get you out of like being so adult and get you a chance to like be a kid again, seeing all the crazy drawings, all the colors and things of that nature. And it just really kind of like brightens you up when it comes to reading books. At least it does for me. Like, I love a graphic novel. I love a graphic novel more than I love an actual manga book, but I have read the manga books also. So Wash Day Diaries is a book that I just recently read, and it is by Jamila Rosser, and the actual illustrations is by Robin Smith. But I enjoyed this book because it was embracing Black women that embraces their culture and their naturalness, natural hair. All the girls, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this book, they did whatever they needed to do to be friends and to stay friends. They embraced their natural hair. They embraced all their curves, all their dimples, and they just really enjoyed each other. And I must say, all 4 of these girls like really stuck with each other. Y'all, it was one part in this book where one of the girls, I think they like, was a singer, and she was having problems with like an ex-boyfriend, and they were like, don't come to the little gathering or whatever, because like she doesn't want to have anything to do with you. But he showed up anyway, and if I can find it in here, y'all, but like he showed up anyway, and like they told him to leave, and he was like you can't stop me, or like you can't make me leave. And so here's like a part right here I'm gonna show you guys where the girl took off her high heel shoe. This girl was taking off her darn earrings like within the ball, and then this one right here was getting something out of her purse, which made me thought of Mace. And so I turned to the next page, and I be damned, she had her mace ready to spray his ass. She had her high heel shoe ready to, I guess, poke his eyes out or something. And this one actually it's in stance, like, you know, like what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh my God, I was like, yes, sis, yes, like that is some black girl love, black girl power. And then when I look at all of them, y'all, like they just is embracing themselves. And that's what I think, like all friendships should be. Like all friendships should be, I'm down with you with whatever. And that's what Wash Day Diary was about, being down with my sisters for whatever, embracing each other with their problems and anything that they got going on with their natural hair and just all the things, y'all. This book right here will keep you going, even though it is a graphic novel. I read this book in one day. I am saving one of the best for last, and it is Hidden Pictures by Jason, this guy. Y'all, when I picked this book up, I could not put it down. This book kept me going. Like, first of all, you know, you're starting out with somebody who had like an addiction to like opioids or something like that, and it kind of put me in the mind of like, what was it, The Housemaid, but 10 times better, y'all. So she was addicted, Marley. She was addicted to, you know, she was like coming off of rehab, coming out of, you know, problems with the law. She had to get a job. She ended up getting a job with this family that had a little boy named Teddy. He was 5 years old, and they wanted a babysitter for him. So they lived in like this nice house, you know, neighbors around them, had a little cottage on the outside of that house. And so that's where Marley started living. So things started happening. Like the boy, he was very adamant on, you know, drawing pictures. And I'm going to show you like what his pictures look like. Like this is like what his pictures look like. So, you know, Marley thought it was just, you know, a 5-year-old. He draws pictures to show his emotions, this, that, and the other. Okay, fine. That's all and dandy. But then, you know, she started noticing things. And then like there's a neighbor that started talking to her and telling her about the story of that cottage that she was actually staying in. So it really intrigued her. And then she started seeing pictures like this that's supposed to be coming from that 5-year-old. Along with knowing the history of what they say happened in that house. So, you know, she started putting 2 and 2 together because the pictures started getting so illustrated that like they were telling a story. And so Marley got very invested in it. You know, she started talking to the neighbor more, the guy that was coming over to see her and everything. Like she started talking to him. They started doing some research. They went to the library, talking to people and all the things. And she found out the truth. She found out the truth. And after she actually really found out the truth about what was going on, and like in the very beginning, y'all, she kind of felt like Carolyn's husband was like, you know, kind of you know, but her for that guy was like, he probably would not want her to look after his son because of like her history. It was not that. It was not that. And Teddy being there was not that. So I'm not going to say too much because y'all, I can go on and on talking about this book because I really did enjoy this book. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody who has not read this book. So I suggest that you read Hidden Pictures by Jason, this guy, because it will keep you on your feet. The characters were great. The action in this book was great. The plot was great. Like it kind of reminded me of a Freedom McFadden book or like a Cheryl Lapina book. I'm not gonna lie. Very fast paced, keep you going, wanted to know what happened next, wanted to know what, you know, this lady or that lady did or whatever. Like very, very, very good book, y'all. So also Hidden Pictures by Jason, this guy. Alright guys, so those were my book recommendations for you guys if y'all happen to get in a reading slump. Like I said, these are fast-paced books. They are very in-depth. They will keep you going. They will keep you wondering what's going to happen next. And some of them will even, you know, like make you feel like, is there going to be a second book to it? But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like videos like this, just comment down below. I like it. And I will make sure that I give you guys my recommendations on some other books that I have read. And I gotta start giving you guys my recommendations on the Kindle books that I have read. Like, I've read a lot of books on Kindle as well that I actually don't have in-house. So I have to let you guys know what I read on Kindle, because like they have some good books on Kindle. Kindle Unlimited. So that's the end of this vlog, y'all. If you like this vlog, comment books, emoji of books down in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.